Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute, but today I decided to finally record this van tour. You might know that I've built this van a while back. I lived in it for about a year. Now I'm deciding to make this van tour because I feel like I haven't done it and it's long overdue. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to it. I want to start with the outside of the van. First thing you can notice is the brush guard and the off-road lightings. So the off-road lighting comes very handy, especially when I'm getting into my campsite at 2 in the morning, pitch dark, and there's not really much for me to see. So they came in very handy, and I'm glad that I've added them. I'm gonna go on the side. You know, that's something I've always added to my vans is the wind deflectors. It helps me whenever I'm trying to get some airflow and I don't want to have to worry about the rain. So I make sure to always have them, and it's really nice. Something else that I've added is the tires. So you can see those are not the stock tires that comes with the Promaster. They're a little bigger. They're the Kero 2 tires. Gives me a little more clearance. In addition, the van has also been lifted. Again, it really helps with the clearance and allowed me to go places that I otherwise wouldn't be able to go to. Next thing you can see is the window. I have one on each side. They're pretty small for this van, but by the time I installed them and I realized they were that small, it was a bit too late for me to return them, so I just went with it, and it's all right. Gets the job done. On the top of the van, I have a roof rack that I use to attach my solar panels and the lights that go around the van. I have one on either side of the van and then two in the back. As of right now, the one on top of the sliding door is the only one that's currently working. All the other ones haven't been fully wired up. I just got lazy, but it's not much work to get that done. And then I have a roof hatch, pretty massive, and I have a max air fan. And then finally, I have my Weeboost external antenna that I can prop up or down depending on where I am. So if I'm in a campsite and I'm gonna be there for a little bit, I just prop it up, gives me better signal. And then whenever I'm getting ready to get back on the road, I just prop it back down and store it that way. Yeah, other than that, this is all I have externally. Let's get inside of the van and see what else I added. So I'm gonna start with the cabin. For the cabin, I haven't added anything crazy in the cabin. The only thing that I've changed in the cabin, this van originally came with a bench seat, meaning that there were 2 seats here in the front, but I went ahead and traded with somebody else and got a bucket seat instead so that I could have a swivel and also be able to open up the spot. All I have to do is just, move this around, and then there it is. I have this is This is pretty much wide open. There's an extra seat for somebody to sit here, or pretty much it just opens up the spot. Underneath, this is where I installed my heater. It's an Esport heater. It's basically a gasoline heater that's hooked up directly to the tank of the van. It's very efficient. I was stranded in the desert for about a week, and every night I would turn it on for about 2-3 hours, and then by the time I was done for that week, I had only used I guess 1/4 of the tank. So I don't know, this is pretty efficient, and it came in very handy in cold nights. As far as the front, this is all I have. Moving here, I'm gonna give a quick tour about how it looks as far as the cabinets and whatnot, and then I'm gonna go into more details about electrical and then plumbing, and then yeah. So start over here. Basic cabinet. Upper cabinets right here. Got some storage space for plates and bowls and spice and whatnot. Here, this is electric cooktop. This is also some counter space depending on what I'm doing. I also have that's pretty standard in every single van out there, which is the hammock for fruits and whatnot. And I also have my paper towel holder over here. So I also have some lighting here. This is a light switch for lighting over here, and then some outlets here. I have a fridge here, which is yeah, that broke, so not gonna fix it. But anyway, I have a fridge here, which is an isotherm fridge. Came in handy on the road. It's pretty big. Comes with a freezer, which kind of helps. And then on that side, this is where I put all my electrical components. I'll get in more detail about this later, but I also store my one wheel here. But essentially, battery, inverter, fuse boxes, and then a little bit of storage space. On the other side, I can extend this to have like even more counter space if I really need to. And then usually when I'm cooking, when I'm like doing the dishes, it kind of helps having more space. I also have a sink here with the cover. So basically, like, you know, you got a sink here. Underneath here, this is where I have my 4-gallon water heater. I have the drain for the sink, goes underneath to my gray water tank. I have an accumulator and then a water pump. These are also like a bit of storage space where I store like, you know, cleaning stuff, cleaning supplies. I also have my my garbage can over here, and also some fire extinguisher just in case. On the other side again, cabinets. Yeah, just upper cabinet that you could put whatever you want. This is also where I have my the internal Weeboost antenna. So all I have to do here is just like plug it in and then just use it when I need to. Here I have some drawers, different drawers. I have like 4 totals, and it gets bigger the further it goes down. The bottom one I used to store my my pots and pans. One thing that I forgot to mention is my Max Air fan. It's a little bit dirty right now, I just gotta clean it, but I haven't had time to do that. But essentially, this is pretty great. It comes with a remote that I have stored in the back so I can turn on and off when I'm in the seating area. I also have some storage spot over here. I've added this kind of like a metallic net that I can just add, you know, you name it, like chairs, chairs, bear spray, you know. So for that part, I have the shower. I probably wouldn't add a shower if I were to do that again, but essentially, I have a shower here, your typical shower. I do have my composting toilet. This is an Ogo composting toilet. Prior to me getting that one, I used to have a chemical cassette toilet, which was not the greatest. Maintenance-wise, it was a lot of work. So when I moved to the composting toilet, it was a game changer. Again, I like the Ogo design just because of the way everything is kind of seamless, and also like the liquid container is pretty big. It's like 2 gallon. Essentially, I could probably go 2 days without emptying that, but you know, I'd do it once a day. But in the solid, I can go for like a whole month without having to worry. That's just a game changer, and I'm glad that I've added this composting toilet. But essentially, the Ogo version of the composting toilet came in very handy, and it's like very helpful and simplified my life pretty much over in this van. Now for the back, it's your typical Dinette. I opted for the Dinette version, so it's like a fixed bed because I was working full time on the road when I was on the road, and having the Dinette, having a place to work was like my priority. So like, I make sure to have a place to work, and also if I want to like, you know, turn this into a bed, I can as well. So essentially, this goes down in between, and I can pull the cushions together to form the full bed. But for the most part, me being on the road by myself, unless I have somebody else sleeping in here, if it's just me, I just mostly like don't even turn the entire thing into a bed just because it's tedious. So I just like sleep either this side, like this way, or that way, depending on how I'm feeling or depending on the leveling situation that I got going on. I do have a way to like add a monitor. So when I was on the road working full time, I had a monitor just to make my life a lot easier. But I took it out just because I'm not on the road anymore. All these can open up from here and also in the back. Like all of them can open up that way. So I can access my storage unit from here or in the back. So the stable swivels, and again, is the same idea. Storage over here. Yeah. Let's go in the back. Just kind of show you guys back of the van. All right, so here in the back, I have my ladder, telescoping ladder that I use to get on top of the van, either to clean my solar panels or just to be on top of there. I have my trusted axe that I use whenever I need to chop some wood when I'm trying to make some fire. I also have a shower hookup that I can just hook that up and shower in the back. The piece that connects here is it's like stored somewhere in the front. But essentially, it's an outdoor shower with hot and cold, depending on the weather out there. This is the fill port for my freshwater tank, which is a 28-gallon freshwater tank. And then more storage here. Yeah, so more storage here. It's kind of dirty, but like, again, the reason why I opted for like the elevated dinette, so I can have both like a place to work and also a lot of storage, like a garage. So I have like best of both worlds, really. Other than that, that's the back. As I mentioned earlier, I have a roof hatch over here that I can open, and I also have like some lights around it that I can turn on. So yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as like the van. I said I was gonna talk more about my water system and like plumbing and then my electrical. So for water, I have a 28-gallon freshwater tank that I fill up from here. It's placed on top of the wheel well on the right side of the van. So 28-gallon of freshwater tank. I have a 4-gallon of hot water heater that I use to heat my water if it's too cold out there. And I have a sink and I have a shower. There's like valves for everything. I can turn things on and off depending on what I'm trying to do. That's my water system. Never failed me. It's been working pretty well so far. So yeah, that's the water system. Actually, let's go back in the front so I can talk about the electrical components. I have a 400 amp hour battery here, and I have a 3000 watt inverter, and then I have fuses for basically everything you can think of. I have a main power switch here that I can kill, I can kill the power to everything in the van with this one. I have 450 watt of solar on top of the van. That is what's used to charge the battery. In addition to that, whenever I drive, I also recharge my battery because I have a DC to DC charger as well as a solar charger. As I mentioned, everything is like is pretty much protected by a fuse, so pretty much safe as far as like fire or like if there was ever like a short. So over here, these are the switches and whatnot. So here I have a battery monitor that tells me like how good I'm doing with the battery. I also have an app on my phone that can tell me how good I'm doing. I pretty much am using Renogy for a lot of my stuff. I'm not gonna say it's a good brand, but I'm just saying that's what I'm using. This is the controller for my gasoline heater. This is the switch for the inverters. I can turn it on and off. This is a controller for the fan. Basically, inside of this, my electrical component, it gets pretty hot up there just because of all the electrical components that I have in the fridge. So like in order for me to keep this at a proper temperature, whenever it gets too hot, those fans automatically turn on, and it allows the airflows to go from here in and out over there, and then pretty much keeps this at a manageable temperature. And then the opposite happens whenever it's cold out. So whenever it's like cold out, the fan turns off and keeps the heat in here so that the battery is at a optimal temperature for charging. I do have covers for Windows cover for all my windows, just so that I can keep the hot air in or out depending on the time of the year. But essentially, this is the van. It's been pretty nice having that built for about a year. Like I said, I was on the road for a year and I've enjoyed it so much. I'm definitely probably gonna get rid of this van, and then buy another one, and then build another, probably smaller one, so I can keep for myself. That experience of being on the road was like one of the greatest experiences that I've had to live, and I got to visit so many places. I got to meet so many people. It was great. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, really. But it is a new chapter of my life, and I'm trying to get rid of this van, and then just do other things, explore other modes of traveling. So that said, this channel is still gonna be, on. It's probably gonna be doing some more international travels, but it's still gonna be an adventure channel, so stay tuned. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I know it took forever for me to make that van tour, but this is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this van tour, and if you like this video, hit the like button below, or if you have any questions or any comment, just leave it in the comment section below. In any case, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.